One thing to note is that this isn't a traditional MMO quest. You can think of this more like the story in any good single-player RPG, where it's a big, long line of events that happen. We're not going to get a ton of different quests and have to go accept them and turn them in and that sort of thing. This is just to let us know where story elements are. We wanted this area to feel very immediate and very exciting. We didn't want players to be doing something boring right off the bat. We wanted them, even though this was the tutorial, to feel like there was a sense of danger and immediacy to what they were doing. A few things to note as Elijah engages in combat here. First off, you can use most of your skills while you're on the move. And again, that's because we wanted to encourage positioning and we wanted to encourage movement during combat. The second thing is, you'll notice he dodged out of the way of a few attacks. You can do that just by double tapping in any direction. And then the last thing is that there is no auto attack in the game. So we wanted our combat to be a little bit more immediate, and we felt like auto attack sort of muddied up the sense that the skills that you're using are actually causing you to animate in a particular way, and we wanted a different feel out of our combat. The one thing to note about our storytelling, so we do use those cinematics, and we also use lots of kind of in-game scenes with characters where you'll see characters speaking in-game, see the little text bubbles over their heads, and those are all voiced. We have tens of thousands of lines of dialogue in the game. We have over 60 feature films worth of dialogue in the game. And we use that dialogue to try to immerse players in the world as well as inform them about what they're supposed to be doing next. So we've just actually encountered our first dynamic event, and you can see Elijah's coming here at the end of it. So one thing to note, there are already players in here participating in this event, and we've joined in with them and helped them defeat the centaurs here. And now this event will chain into another event since we helped drive the centaurs out.
Bible, 6 gods, what is that thing? It's huge!
That, soldier, is a threat. We're going to take it down. Forward! Destroy them!
So this is another example of how we want the player to feel like they're a hero, how we want them to feel like they're doing important things right away. We don't want you to have to wait until you're max level before the game starts and before you start experiencing cool stuff. We want you to have epic fights like this right from the start. So this is a boss event, and you'll notice we have other players participating in this. And again, we're not grouped with those other players. We didn't have to go accept a quest. We kind of encounter a situation in the world that needs heroes, and we participate in that situation. And we all get credit for doing so. So whenever we finish part of our personal story, we get rewarded for it. And Elijah's leveled up, so now he can put some points into his attributes and kind of customize his character a little bit. He can also come check his journal out, and his journal has a record of all the things that he's done, kind of written in first person by him. It also tells him what to do next in his personal story, and we can see we're supposed to talk to Watchman Rebick. So Watchman Rebick is an interesting person. He's part of our scout system. And our scout system was developed because of some side effects that came from how our dynamic event system works.
The fields around Shaymore are Kryta's breadbasket. We all work hard to get what we need, but it's dangerous when bandits and even the wildlife have it out for you. We welcome any help you could give.
So because of the very nature of our dynamic events, you never quite know what's going on. There's no specific place you can go to where there are going to be a bunch of guys standing around with exclamation marks over their head or that sort of thing. And so what we do is, for players who are explorers, that sort of thing is great because they can just go out and explore. But certain people are more, achievement oriented, need a little bit more direction. And so what we do is we have our scout system, and our scout system just shows you that there are people out in the world who need a little bit of help. and there are things once you get out to those people that you can do to help those people out. They're not quests or anything like that. They're little things that you can do. So for example, that farmer you might be able to talk to and feed some of her cows, that sort of thing.
Head that way.
So we just found that there's somebody who's saying that there's a Drake broodmother in the area, and we can see that he pointed us in that direction, and we can go over and do that if we want. So our scout system actually helps encourage those players who need a little bit of direction to get out in the world and to do things. And then when they're out in the world, they'll encounter dynamic events. They'll notice that things are going on in the world that they can take part in, and you know, they'll be able to be introduced to the system in a way that's kind of familiar to them. You can see there's actually a few events going on here. Elijah's kind of going through the different areas. And there's the Drake broodmother, who we were pointed in the direction of. So one thing to note, as more players, Elijah just joined in on this, as more and more players join in and try to battle the broodmother, she'll gain enhanced skills. We do this not because we want the fight to be harder as more players go in, but we want to maintain the level of difficulty, because we never want it to be the case that you see other players as a bad thing in the world. You always should see other players as heroes, as potential allies in the world. And because of that, the broodmother will get skills that help her deal with a group, but it won't necessarily make the encounter harder. We worked hard to make our city very inviting, very open. There's a lot of NPC activity. There's a lot of NPCs to talk to, characters who you can meet, lore to delve into, that sort of thing. We just wanted to make it a cool place to hang out. And in keeping with that sort of philosophy, we also have these activities scattered around. And what activities are, you can think of them as like little mini games that sort of exist outside of the normal structure of the game. So players of any level can participate in them. This particular one is a shooting gallery, for instance. And any player, level 2, level 80, can go in and play and compete and try to get a high score. That sort of thing. And there are activities scattered all throughout the city. Why don't we take a look at how big the city is, Elijah? So you can see the city is quite enormous. That's an entire persistent area. You can see the little trail that we've left of where we've traveled. And so we want our cities to be places that are full of things to discover and places to explore.